Counts what has been a very main story, not only just in South Africa, but across the world as well. A very confirmation by the South African government that Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin will not be coming to South Africa for the BRICS summit next month. Instead, he'll be represented by their Foreign Affairs Minister. But on the sidelines of the ANC Political Forum, the dialogue that's underway here in Boksburg, so much is happening. Let's get more reactions from now the governing party. So, Mr. Bapela, once again, thank you so much indeed, sir, for your time. So, let's just go back to it, the ANC's reaction to today's developments.
Well, the president did invite President Putin to come to BRICS as normal, and then it is up to every head of state whether they will physically come or they will send whoever representative that they will. And we have been asking this question, is Putin coming? We said we are waiting for a response from them. And finally, a response has come that he will not be able to come, but the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Russia will be here. And I think also take into cognizance that the difficult situations and environment that exist for South Africa and the challenges of the warrant of arrest and the ICC, we understand. And then also it has made a relief to South Africa to then deal with its own challenges in its own way. And one of it is obviously when the BRICS is over, we'll have to then go back to Parliament and then start the decision of the NEC of amending the Rome Statute so that we are not finding ourselves in this situation when we host big events such as BRICS or the AU or any other in the future.
So that's quite a very big step where now the Parliament is going to undertake this task. But now let's go back to the issue of the BRICS regarding the issue of some of the detractors who were saying the Putin question really was going to serve as a distraction. So do you believe now you will have undivided attention to delve into South Africa's priorities during the course of the summit?
Well, we are equal members as BRIC members. And all members are as important, led by their leaders and their presidents. And then therefore, the debates and the discussions in the BRICS are so crucial that unfortunately the issue of the warrant of arrest had diverted us now to focus on that instead of the content of what BRICS is and also what BRICS wants to achieve in its meeting, and also the political party dialogues. Tomorrow when they rise, they will then be having a declaration that is going to be influencing amongst many other declarations of many BRICS formations and meetings that are meeting on particular issues that have emerged from this meeting of the political dialogue. One of it being trade. It might not be on the agenda of BRICS, but it's going to be emphasized that if you don't resolve on it, have a working group. It's a step that we'll want to achieve in the BRICS summit, coming from the political party meetings, because intertrade amongst the BRICS countries and also within the Geo-South, Latin America, with Caribbean there, Africa and Asia is very key. But obviously for trade to happen, we need to attend to infrastructure matters. And the infrastructure obviously is the movement of goods. What is the form? And then some of the programs that are there within BRICS is the one road, one belt. How do we expand it so that indeed we can trade enough? And the issue that will also rising is the trade currency. What currency are we going to be using to trade amongst the BRICS members? They may not be finalized in the BRICS, but these are being sponsored by the political party dialogues into that BRICS meeting. And if they don't resolve on them, they may have to form working groups that will then look, and when we go to Russia next year for a BRICS meeting, then we can then engage and then finalize on some of those things. So I think for BRICS now to focus on the issues, for the world to know what BRICS is going to be doing, and the geopolitics element of what BRICS is will emerge strongly without side issues.
And just before I let you go, sir, from the ANC perspective, how would you want to see the ICC working? Because others say, well, it's a Western instrument. And initially it was a very noble concept because it was about punishing those who are, where there is impunity, oftentimes in international cases. But how would you want to see the ICC reformed?
Well, indeed, I mean, the noble ideas of what the ICC was and how it was engaged with countries such as America, China, and Russia itself was really to ensure that human rights violations is a punishable offense. And then any other abuses that might be there, they are also punishable. We walked the journey together. We adopted the resolutions in our countries. At the point of ratification, we walked in through the door. Others stood outside and decided no longer to join us. And it's the very people who stood outside who are now using this instrument and misusing it, unfortunately, and then where they are now beginning to be selective in punishment, and that's where the wrong is happening. So we want to transform the ICC to be an organization for all, and that can punish anybody irrespective of who they are, and then including those who might have violated rights of others, whether you are an American, you are a Russian, or you are a Chinese. We want that, and therefore we'll be doing our best in the next 5 years to push for that transformation. And the Rome Statute, it's our own law. We'll amend it to be amended like why the British did, where they couldn't arrest Pinochet, the general of Chile, who killed and massacred a lot of people. So he was able not to be arrested, and he died there, age 92. So we also want to then create clauses that protect us from arresting a sitting president, for example. But secondly, any other situation that might threaten our national interest, because this arrest of Putin was also a threat to our national interest. So we want to really begin to go on a journey that says the world is not as perfect, but we still want to make it perfect. There's some institutions are not as perfect, but we want to make them perfect, and then ensure therefore that we transform them, whilst we then rearrange how we've absorbed some of the laws that are currently laws in our country.
All right. So thank you so much indeed for your time. Of course, Mr. Bapela, part of the ANC's Subcommittee on International Relations, looking at a very key issue around the non-attendance of the Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin. But of course, is going to be represented by the Foreign Affairs Minister, Sergei Lavrov, but also talking about the all-important reforms of the ICC. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Boksburg.